Hello. So today we are definitely gonna review some whiskey, and it's not gonna be a joke. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. We're gonna do it. We're gonna review some whiskey. It's gonna be good. Um, so what do I have today to show you? We have the Nikka, if it'll focus. That's always the fun part. Nikka Whisky from the barrel. And the packaging is quite nice, I must say. It's really quite aesthetically pleasing. It's simple, but it does the job. And the bottle as well, it's quite nice. It's kind of understated, but really nice. Very stubby looking bottle, and it is 500 mils instead of what you might normally get, which is what, like 750 mils, so not as much volume, but that's cool. It's nice product. So yeah, why did I choose like this particular whiskey to review? Because I actually felt like I might have something to say about it. Like if I picked anything else, I'm like, what do I even fucking say about it? Like I don't know. This one though, I've had a bit of an interesting relationship with, in that initially when I tried it, I wasn't a big fan. So first time I tried it was at a Japanese restaurant called Bird's Nest. Really nice place. Like the food, beautiful. And huge whiskey selection, by the way. So if you're into whiskey, definitely check out Bird's Nest in West End. Is excellent. Anyway, tried this there, this Nikka whiskey from the barrel, and I didn't like it that much. I thought this tastes kind of harsh, kind of rough on the way down. Not big on it. Like the flavor was good, but at the time I'm like, I don't see the appeal. Why does everybody rave about this? And at the time, I didn't realize that this is like 51%, which is a lot. That's a lot for whiskey. I mean, usually whiskey's like what, somewhere between 40 to 48%. Like a lot of them are in that kind of like ballpark. So 51's high, you know. So I think it's kind of fair that maybe it is a little rough, because that is a lot of alcohol. So I kind of judged it a little unfairly, I suppose, because I didn't know that the alcohol content was that high. So I thought, hey, gonna give it another go. Like I really like Nikka whiskey. I've tried a whole bunch of it. Love the stuff. So I thought, hey, I should give this another try at home, and see how I feel. So I did. And yeah, I mean, how about I'm gonna have like a bit now, and we're gonna like refresh my memory. I don't think this is gonna be a particularly interesting, like me trying to peel some plastic off a bottle. It's not really that exciting, but that's okay. I'm not doing a very good job either. There's still some plastic on the bottle. That's okay. Holy shit. Alright. So, yes. I'm not big into like commenting on the color of whiskey, because like a lot of whiskey they put artificial coloring into it anyway, like caramel coloring. And I'm pretty sure Nikka is the same. The smell, it smells like, I was just talking about caramel. It is kind of like that, sort of like caramelly, almost raisiny, I would say. It's sort of got, yeah, it reminds me of raisins. I'd say it's kind of like the smell of it is a bit like that. And the taste, ooh, that's really nice. It's quite, I wouldn't say, like, my first thought was it's kind of a very desserty kind of whiskey, in that it's like really sweet, creamy type, very sweet flavors. Yeah, I really get like, it tastes very strongly of, like, for me, like raisins. That is like crazy. And like it is a bit rough, but I'd say for something that's like there's a bit of burn like in the throat, but for something that's 51%, it is actually really tame. So I definitely didn't give it enough credit initially, because for something with this much alcohol to be this smooth, because compared to a lot of other stuff that I've had that's even less alcohol, like 47, 48%, because I've had plenty of whiskey that's in that sort of around 48% category that's like way, 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 way rougher than this. This is actually pretty tame. It's actually pretty impressive. So yeah, like a lot of Nikka whiskey is actually really, really quite sweet. Smoky? I don't know if this is very smoky whiskey. So this is like, I want to say like prominent notes for me, yeah, like raisins, kind of like brown sugar. It's a bit citrusy as well. Like you kind of got that, like, I don't know. This sounds like really wanky, right? Like reviewing whiskey, it's like there's all these dumb terms that everybody uses, like, oh, a bit of orange rind in here. And it's like, I don't know. You try to relate the flavors of the whiskey to things that you know, to flavors that you know. So like from that perspective, it's like, that's cool. It just sounds dumb, right? But yeah, so like orange rind, raisins, brown sugar, like some of the whiskey, it's just really sweet. Some of it even sweeter than this. So either way, for like $90-ish, I'd say this is a really enjoyable whiskey. It's like, it's got a good amount of kick, because it's 51%. Still smooth enough that it's just nice to sip. And it's, I don't know, it's not that expensive. It's Japanese, and it's just pleasant. It's not very complex. There's not a lot going on flavor-wise, so if you want something that's a bit more complex, a bit more exciting, this probably is not the whiskey for you. Even amongst all the stuff that Nikka has to offer, probably not the one I would pick. But for a Japanese whiskey, it is very accessible, I think, because Japanese whiskey is very expensive, like compared to Scotch especially. So at $90, I'd say this is probably one of the best Japanese whiskeys in that kind of price bracket. Because like you can get a lot of even really crappy whiskeys, like Japanese whiskeys that are in that price bracket, like $70, $80, $90. I've seen some of like the absolute bottom shelf Japanese whiskey retail for that kind of price here, because of like all the import fees and all of that and tax and everything, and it's like pretty rough. But this genuinely good for the price. And I think, I don't know, the beauty of Nikka whiskey from the barrel is it's kind of like, I don't know how you phrase this. It's like soup stock, you know. It is like, this is like the core of like the entire Nikka lineup. That's what it tastes like. I've had a lot of Nikka whiskey, and all of them have the flavors that are present in this. It's like, this is like the base of everything else they make. Like you will taste these general flavors in everything, but they're all, you know, they've all got their own little unique twists. But they ultimately all come back to this thing here, which is really cool. So it's sort of like the, as I've phrased it before, like the quintessential Nikka experience. So if you've never had Nikka whiskey before, this is a really good intro into it, and it gives you an idea of what to expect from Nikka. Because again, a lot of their other whiskey tastes a lot like this. There's differences definitely, but it's actually pretty cool. Like I really did judge this harshly the first time I had it, but upon revisiting it, really, it's a unique product, and it's great for like $90. Again, Japanese whiskey is expensive as shit. Yeah, gosh, what else to say? I think if you're in the market for some Japanese whiskey but don't want to spend a lot, like, just get it. Like I don't think you'll be disappointed. And then maybe if you like it, move on to some other stuff. Like, I think a favorite of mine from Nikka is the, Nikka Super. I'm gonna have to like review that another time, because that's a whole nother video, right? But Nikka Super, it is a blend, so it's not single malt. It is a blended whiskey. But but that's actually not that expensive. Nikka Super, I think it's Super Rare Old, I think it's called, is like somewhere between like $90 and $120. So similar price bracket to this, a little more expensive sometimes depending on where you get it. That's a favorite of mine. And Nikka Yoichi. Yoichi is really nice. I actually went to their distillery, the Yoichi distillery in Hokkaido, earlier last year, which was really cool. One of the few whiskey distilleries that still use like coal-fired whiskey stills, which is like really, really cool. But anyway, look, I rambled on quite enough. This was the Nikka Whisky from the barrel. I would rate it like a solid like 8.7, 8.8. We'll say 8.8 out of 10 because it's like, I really think it's excellent for the price, and you should definitely buy it. That's all for now.